Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video is not really a review. It's kind of more of a discussion on a particular perfume, not even a discussion because I'm the only one talking about it. Just some thoughts I'd like to share on 2019's Gucci's Memoire d'une Odeur. It was kind of released on the back of successful releases, recent releases for Gucci, 2017's Gucci Guilty Absolute, which I happen to own and love, and probably a little bit previous to that, Gucci Bloom, which was a very popular perfume at the time as well. Memoire d'une Odeur didn't quite capture the imagination the way Gucci Guilty Absolute did. It wasn't marketed, I don't think, to specifically the same kind of demographic. And it was also one of these perfumes that I felt at the time, my impression was that when people started to review this particular one, that people kind of either loved it or didn't like it. There was really no in between. And I can understand why, because the first time I smelled Memoire d'une Odeur was, I was actually in Singapore airport, duty free, middle of the night, waiting for a flight, and I got to smell it for the first time. So it was the same year it was released. It was relatively new. And I'd just heard a few mixed reviews on it. And at the time, I remember not liking it. I also remember not being quite sure of what I was smelling. I don't think at the time I was familiar with what notes were in this perfume, what the pyramid was like. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years, and I got a sample. I can't remember where I got a sample from. Someone might have included it in a parcel with other perfumes. And I decided to test it properly on skin. And with each wear, it started to grow on me. And I'm still not sure what it is that I love about Memoire d'une Odeur. I'm wearing it. It's my scent of the day, and the lovely Cherie from the Top Note sent me another little sample of it because I think she owns a bottle. And so I've been wearing that, and like I said, I'm not going to review this. I'll describe what I'm smelling and try and tell you why I enjoy it so much. But I think it's getting discontinued or has been discontinued. However, I still see it for sale online. It's still available at my local department store. So I'm kind of on the edge about whether to get a bottle or not. Mainly because I'm not sure if I need it and if I'm going to miss it once my sample is gone. This perfume maybe didn't sell very much because in terms of performance and projection, it's everything that Gucci Guilty Absolute it is not. Gucci Guilty Absolute, apart from smelling great, was also very popular with Fragcom because performance wasn't an issue. It projects very nicely. It's just like a real, it just kind of hit all the markers for a popular perfume. And I'm not even sure if that's selling well. Just in our little community, Gucci Guilty Absolute's quite popular. Memoire d'une Odeur is a floral, I guess I would describe it as a floral woody perfume. It's mainly floral. The flowers here are different. The main accords that I smell when it sprays onto my skin, it is chamomile, jasmine, and then mainly sandalwood in the dry down. this perfume, what I particularly love about it is the way it transforms while it's on your skin, albeit it's a relatively short development. This is a soft projecting perfume for me. It doesn't seem to, I stop smelling it after a few hours pretty much, although I haven't tested to see if other people can smell it, but it does feel like a soft skin scent to me. Excuse me. Roman chamomile starts off like a caterpillar, starting to cocoon itself into this really clean, fluffy jasmine that's had all the indolic qualities removed from it, and then breaks out into this beautiful butterfly of sandalwood glory in the base. Obviously, it happens a little bit slower than that, but it really does feel like a progression. There is a bit of almond note in here, and I feel like it's more a textural note than something I can almost taste. The chamomile and that bitter with the bitter almond, for me, is a very nostalgic scent from my childhood. I remember my mum giving us chamomile tea when we had trouble sleeping. So it's quite a similar smell to that particular tea that I used to have. And like I said, it's a very textural perfume on my skin. It feels like I'm wearing like a fuzzy velvety jumpsuit that then gets kind of creamy, and the sandalwood in the end is really the icing on the cake, that beautiful buttery icing on this lovely cake. But I'm trying to figure out why something like this wasn't so popular. I mean, in the popular sense, against it is that it seems to not be a big performer in terms of longevity and projection, things that a lot of people need. But again, this is one of those perfumes that I think would be totally... I would not like this as much if it was a room filler, put it this way. It's just a beautiful, delicate perfume in terms of evoking a scent memory, like the name of it would suggest, like I guess what the inspiration for this perfume is. I can see, for me, the chamomile does that a little bit, but it's a very dreamy perfume. It's a very imagined memory perfume. If you want to just spray something on, meditate, or close your eyes and have a nice relax out in the sunshine, it's that kind of perfume. It's really, really pleasant. Pleasant's such a boring word. It's pleasant in a very unique way. And I think that this almost came out when people weren't ready for it, because I'm also noticing a lot more appreciation for this perfume now that it's basically close to not being produced anymore. So the moral of this story is that I know for myself over the last couple of years that I will not rule out, I will not write off a perfume that's been around for less than a year or two, because I've found that recently some of the bottles that I've bought into my wardrobe have been perfumes that I initially kind of ignored and then tried again. I think a perfume needs to sort of hold its ground for a few years before it becomes, in my eyes, worthy, and so I'm less inclined at this point to really rush out and buy any new releases without giving them time to sort of make their place in the world, I guess. Memoire d'une Odeur has worked its way into my heart, but in a bittersweet kind of way. I've got a decision to make about whether to try and keep it there or to just accept that I may not see it again. That's all I wanted to say, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and read your thoughts in the comments about Memoire d'une Odeur, your experience with it, why you like it, why you don't like it. That's it. So I'll see you soon. Bye.